When I think back to my childhood, it's filled with wonderful memories. But sometimes when I'm sitting and I'm feeling kind of blue and I'm thinking back, I'm remembering the parts of my childhood that weren't that great. Times that I felt like my parents teased me, times they didn't understand, little things they did that made me feel embarrassed or ashamed of myself. I don't think there's any way to escape that. I think I had great parents, but that's part of going through childhood and growing up. And when I got married, I basically married a guy who saw himself with me, and we were partners. And we looked toward the day, the present, and we looked toward the future. But we didn't give a lot of thought to each other's past. And he's a guy, and he came from a family that was really good too, but he had a lot of hurts. And he had a lot of times he felt his parents were insensitive and teased him. And if I made a mistake, it was in not understanding that created triggers in him. And my message to you today is that when I do therapy with clients, um, as a licensed psychotherapist, I see what happens with a lot of couple conflict and the triggers it causes reactions for. Most of the hurt that people feel, partners feel, when they get into an argument with their partner is that they hit upon a trigger from their partner's past that they have no idea, or maybe sometimes they do, and they hit it on purpose because they're resentful or angry. These triggers that we carry with us are brought into our relationships, and they're brought into our marriage whether our partner knows about them or not. And not only that, what makes a trigger significant is you can never escape it because it's wired into your brain at such an early age, and it causes pain. Examples of triggers are like, let's say you were raised by a dad who was insensitive, a harsh, good old guy. And he basically would say things like, don't be a wimp, or man up, or slap, his son on the back and say, get in there and, get back in the game. And he may have meant it for good. He was trying to be a good role model. But if that child, as a small boy, felt incapable or felt unheard or unlistened or unappreciated, he remembers that as being a negative thing rather than a positive. And anytime this guy's wife says something now that makes him feel like he's not manning up or being the man, he's going to react. Or let's say you're a woman now and you grew up with a mom and dad who focused entirely on your looks. They called you little princess, you were so beautiful, and then when you got into junior high, you started gaining weight. And let's say they made comments or insults that you had thunder thighs or you were their chubby buddy. Anything like that that showed insensitivity to you, to appreciating your body, and to making you feel bad about yourself. So let's say you're with a man now and you get pregnant and your partner starts saying little things like, oh, here's my chubby buddy, or wow, mama, you're really growing. If that guy says anything to her that brings up that painful past, a trigger point that she's still sensitive about, she's going to react. When couples react, what happens is they'll get defensive, they may hurl an insult, they may withdraw, they may shut down, they may like just totally stonewall, they may use passive aggressive behaviors, silent treatments, slamming doors, and you as their partner don't often know. So it's important that couples sit down and talk about their triggers. And those triggers are times you felt embarrassed or ashamed or not good enough or not loved, not important, not chosen, not popular. Think of all the things that you felt that make you feel bad. And those are the things you're reacting to. There's a lot of people who were insulted as children for not feeling smart, And so anytime they hear anybody make any insinuation that, okay, maybe I'm not as smart as I should be, they will react. And they won't react in a kind way because they've still got their defenses up about that. You can't really let go of your triggers. Your triggers are with you for life, but what you can do is you can deflate them by talking to your partner about your areas of vulnerability, what makes you feel bad, and staying away from those during a conflict. Don't ever throw your partner under the bus by using something that you know they're sensitive. That's not being a kind person. That's really not being a supportive partner. You always want to support each other. And if you know of a trigger point and it's part of this conflict, it's best if you preface it by saying, listen, I'm not trying to insult you. I know you have a lot of sensitivities about this area, but this is what I'm feeling. Stay focused on the topic. Don't bring in the kitchen sink and everything else to mull over during a conflict. I hope this helps you, especially during, we're going into the holiday season. It's important to remember a lot of the holiday arguments and stressors are simply conflicts of people getting together, forgetting or being unaware of each other's triggers, and then poking at them. Have a fantastic day.